You was here before the crescendo.
Something new I'm working on. What's going
Back.
on, y'all? We are
Yeah.
back. Once again, back is the incredulous.
In tre comunicados, that means three people communicating in Latin.
Yes, sir.
See, I learned something new today. You feel me?
I know, I'm bullshitting. It doesn't mean that.
Dang, I was
Made
about to
that
take
up.
that to the bank.
Dog, yo, you feel me, bro? I was about to repeat.
But yeah, man, we back again after a whirlwind couple of months, basically.
Yeah.
Facts.
Life has been beating the shit out of all of us, man. Interrupting everything we want to do in life.
As it always does.
Facts.
But, we got to keep trucking, And we back. So you already know what's going on.
Well, you're temporarily back. You're about to go on another run tour.
Hey, man. The last couple months for me, dog, I have so many things going on. But, yeah, I'm going to be visiting Orlando for about a week, man. But it's dope. It's very exciting. I'm going to see, some old friends. I'm going to get to hit some old theme parks. I got an interview with Ear to the Grind Radio, Delory, on Saturday the 9th. So that's going to be dope, man. I'm super excited, though. Super excited.
Try to help.
Dope. And the last time we tapped in, you were getting ready to go to a AEW Wrestling show.
Yeah.
Going?
Yo, honestly, bro, that was super dope, man, because, long story short, man, me and my fiance, we'll watch shows and stuff periodically, and we kind of stumbled onto this show, Hills, on Stars. If y'all haven't heard of it, check it out. But basically, it's a show about, a local wrestling company that was gifted to, well, I guess you can't say gifted because it was a crazy circumstance how they received it from their father, but you got to watch it to find that out. But basically, they're carrying on the legacy of his wrestling company. And, you just kind of watch the show. You see all the like intricacies of wrestling and the business side of it. And, people, how they maintain their characters and the behind the scenes drama of trying to grow it. It's all of that kind of aspect of it. Super dope. But anyways, the show got very interesting to myself and my fiance, me being already a wrestling fan, and my fiance actually being somebody that always was kind of like, it's so fake, and obviously any wrestling fan knows that like the fake word is just something you don't really say. Like, we already know what it is. We're enjoying the show. You know what I mean?
It's not fake, it's predetermined.
Exactly. So anyways, she got to kind of see it from, that standpoint. And so AEW, they had a show in Duluth a couple of weeks ago, and I had been eyeing the show for a few weeks before I went out to Massanutten in Virginia. And I was kind of like, lots going on, but if I can make it, I'll try to go. And literally, bro, day of, my fiance, she was on call for work, and I was like, yo, these tickets are great, bro. Like, we got to go. The prices were still good. Like AEW is still kind of building itself up. So the tickets aren't wild. And so, day of, I went upstairs to her, and we talked about it, and I was like, yo, I'm about to buy these tickets. So I just bought them, and I was like, yo, I know you on call, but we just gonna have to make it work. And so we went there, bro. We had to check in her bag, like, to the front desk and everything, like, and let them know, like, hey, we called. They said we could bring the laptop if we check the bag in, but we gonna see this show. You feel me? And so we checked her bag in. Thank God she didn't get any calls, bro. She was able to enjoy the entire show.
That's what it is, man.
You know what I mean? And so then, by the time it was over, bro, like, as we were walking out, I was like, yo, I got to go to the bathroom. And mind you, we had went to the merch station, but the line was kind of long, and I didn't really see anybody I knew because, mind you, I don't follow wrestling the way I used to follow wrestling. But since I started watching this show, I just had this itch. You know what I mean? I was like, bro, I got to go to a wrestling match. And so, anyways, I go to the bathroom, and I come back, and I didn't see anybody I know, but she ends up surprising me with the AEW t-shirt. And then she had got her the Billy Gunn like Scissor Me t-shirt, and
merch store.
Yeah,
Billy
she hit
Gunn.
the merch store. Yeah, bro,
Billy Gunn. I see him in the airport ones. That's that man right there.
Yeah, nah, it was super dope, bro. But yeah, man, great experience. I mean, honestly, bro, for both of us, we paid like $55, and I was able to like sit like in a row where I've never been able to sit for a wrestling match. You know what I mean? Like, like, man, super dope, bro. Super dope.
That's a big thing behind it. And if you really get to know wrestling and you get to know the heels are the bad guys. You get to know the baby face are the good guys, and you get to know what the pop is.
Yeah,
What's the
exactly.
pop?
What's the pop? Yeah.
The audience going off once they do something, whether it's announcing a fight or fighting or something. That pop, when you're there and that audience goes off, that's the most important part of your
That's the
job.
best part.
That's it.
And that's the
No, and
small
that's the
thing.
best part for everybody.
That's the part that I forgot to mention. We went there with Robin, basically like, hey, and I've been trying not to say my fiance's name, but anyways, y'all know now. But we went there with her basically like, against wrestling from a standpoint of like it's fake, to her walking out buying t-shirts like, yo, there's a pay-per-view this Sunday, you trying to watch it? You know what I'm saying? Like, she was transformed that night into like somebody that will definitely go back to another wrestling match. And that was the dopest part.
Yeah, wrestling is definitely one of those things that if you just let yourself get caught in the moment, it's to me it's kind of like Halloween Horror Nights. Like, I'm not really scared when I go, but I let myself get wrapped up in that moment so I
That's
can
dope.
enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, I'm putting myself in that mindset like, oh man, this is like a haunted thing or whatever, and like you enjoy it a little more that way. It's the same thing with wrestling. Like, if you just go and just take it for what it is, a form of entertainment. Same thing a movie does, same thing a show does. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You
That's
get
how I
in
am
the
with
show.
scary movies. Like, I allow myself to get scared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you're just receptive to taking it in, pause, you enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
Yo.
Yo, facts.
No, but that's perfect segue into a topic that I want to discuss. And as far as
Yo,
this,
my bad. Real quick before you say that,
yeah.
and it's gonna kind of lead into that too, because I seen Joe Rogan. He always be talking about wrestling, like in little clips that I see, because I'll see him. He pops up a lot on my TikTok, and I like a lot of the stuff as far as the clips and everything. I've listened to his show a few times. I'm not like a crazy follower that I'm listening when it drops and everything, but
Yeah.
if I got some time, I'll listen here and there. I pick and choose which, and usually like the episodes that I think I'm gonna like, I do like. You know what I'm saying? So I always see him talking down on wrestling so much, and it's just so crazy to me that somebody like as hardworking as him that has interacted with so many wrestlers, somebody that is a comedian too, so he understands that type of grind. Like, I just don't understand how he just belittles wrestling so much. Like, I feel like somebody like him would have the respect for it to say, "Yo, it's not my bag, but I respect what's going on there." You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And go ahead, Quinn.
No. I was gonna say. I mean, I was just gonna say is that I agree with you from a standpoint of like, it's like we always talk about how as creators you respect other creators. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, I'm not a comedian, but I know the grind of having to chase your dream and deal with, you know what I'm saying, all of the hard parts of that. So I may not know the comedy route, but I can empathize and I can relate to you from a standpoint of like, you know what I'm saying, you had to grind it out, you know?
Yeah.
And so I agree with you. I don't know how he can kind of downplay it.
Yeah. And what I want to tap into was the skill of it. And what makes these great wrestlers like Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold, all these classic legendary wrestlers, who they were, is because they were able to develop these characters that when they wanted you to love them, you loved them. And when they wanted you to hate them, you hated them. And I think that's one of the biggest things that goes unseen. Like, yeah, like it's predetermined. Yeah, it's not like 100% live action fighting, but it takes a lot of skill for them, for these wrestlers and these people to generate these characters that when you go in an arena with 40, 50,000 people, for all of them to react, that pop, right? So
And real quick, just to interject, it goes hand in hand with comedy, where it's a thing where you have to figure out how to get to that skilled point where you're doing that effectively, And just like comedy, bad wrestling is hard to watch the same way bad comedy is hard to
Oh,
watch.
big time, yeah.
So
Facts.
that's even another way how it goes together, where it's like, wow, you can't appreciate somebody eliciting that reaction from a crowd like that when they know it's fake. Like
Yep.
they know it's not a legit fight, but they're still coming and they're still getting shocked at what happens.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts.
And that taps into like the Hulk Hogan on Joe Rogan episode, and they were talking about where he came back as the WWE as Hollywood Hogan, as the NWO Hogan, you know, and he was gonna come and The Rock was gonna challenge him at WrestleMania. And he said that he was like coming in to be grimy, like that's when he was in the ambulance. No, they put Rock in the ambulance, and then Hogan got in the semi and smashed the ambulance. And he
Yeah.
was saying how they got the Rock out in time, but like he was made himself the worst dude for everybody to hate him. And he said when he came into that arena, they fucking loved him. And he's like, damn. He's like, this is not what was supposed to go on. Like the Rock's supposed to be the good guy.
yeah,
And he was still managed to turn it. That's when like they held hands and he pulled the Rock and talked some shit, and the Rock fucking rock bottomed him. And like that takes skill in the moment, in front of the cameras, in front of like live, like
Yeah.
that, for you to be able to fix it and go
Yeah.
the way the direction is supposed to go.
Supposed to go. Mhm.
That's not scripted.
Yo.
That's not predetermined. That's a skill of the person doing it.
And for y'all that are lost as far as wrestling goes, like the biggest event in wrestling is WrestleMania, which is basically like the Super Bowl in wrestling. It literally has higher attendance than the Super Bowl. It does bigger numbers like than the Super Bowl a lot of times. Like it's crazy how much money the WrestleMania brings in. And the thing that happened was The Rock and Hulk Hogan had a match where The Rock was the good guy. Everybody was cheering him, and Hulk Hogan was the bad guy. But the day they went to wrestle at WrestleMania, just the buildup of the story and everything, somehow, when they went out there, people were cheering for Hulk Hogan, even though he was the bad guy, and booing The Rock. So they literally had to, on the fly, adjust the whole match and change the whole route of how they were going to get to the finish and adjust it to how the crowd was reacting. Because if they just kept going with the quote unquote script they had in their head, it wouldn't have worked because people wasn't cheering the guy that they were expecting to cheer. So that's what Joe's saying. Like to do that on the fly, it's a perfect storm of two super experienced guys at the height of their game, figuring out like they know what the crowd wants slash they're good enough to realize like it's fluid. And it goes right into I'm glad you mentioned it earlier, Joe, the thing I shared on Instagram about Michael Jackson talking about how you can't just write a fire song. You can't just sit down and say like, oh, he was saying like when he wrote Billie Jean, like the thing that led him on that song was he just wanted to do a song with a really dope bass line. And the
Yeah.
bass line came to him first, the bass line and the hook. And he was like building the song from there. And then the interviewer was kind of asking him like, yo, but how did you think of that? And he's like, bro, it's just what came. It's just what the song needed. It's just what the song was at the time. Like, and that's exactly how I feel about making music. It's like the reason why you got to be in the studio working is because you don't know when that's coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could sharpen the sword, you know what I mean, but you don't know when you're going to slice it, you know what I mean? And that's where the thing about being an artist that I said before of like as artists we're just trying to be right once, you know what I'm saying? Like you're just trying to make that perfect formula to make it happen once. That's that proverbial break, you know what I mean? Like the thing that's going to propel you to that next level to be able to do art more freely, which is, without the boundaries of money and, and other things that you got in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you know what? Damn, I should have sent it. I sent this something. I saw something on the gram that's like you don't, and it was something that we tap into a lot, that you don't need tragedy to create without, and you can still trap into that creativity of tragedy. Damn, I should have saved it.
It's funny, bro. It's crazy that you said that because it goes perfectly into something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Because even earlier, I posted something on my story. And I just snuck in like a song of me rapping like back in the day.
Yeah,
You know what
I
mean?
saw that. I knew that was you.
And
need
I
those, yeah.
and I threw it in there because like I found that song randomly, and shout out to my boy Mike, man. It was dog literally. I think it was probably my last song that I recorded like as a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like it had to be like 2016 or something like that. But like I found the song randomly and I sent it to him like, yo, I can't believe I found this because shout out to Dolore again, buddy that's gonna interview Quincy. He knows Mike too. Like I met Dolore through Mike. So when I met Dolore, he knew me as a rapper, like originally, you know what I mean? And he was a big fan of what I was doing as far as rapping goes. And that song in particular, like the verse that I spit on that song, he always loved that verse because like just the way I laid it out and stuff. And so when I found it, I sent it to Mike and I hit up Dolore like, yo, it's crazy. I found this song. So I thought about him when I heard it. But dog, I've been like stuck on that song. Like I've been listening to it like in my car a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm like trying to dissect it. And I'm like, nah, bro, this is a banger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the song is fire, the bars are fire, the verses are like everything about it is fire. And it goes into what you were saying, Joe. Like I was feeling before like bro, I can't rap no more because that energy was coming from a different place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's how I was aligning it in my head. Like I was thinking in my head like these are the situations slash circumstances I was in when I was a rapper, and like the situations I'm in now, it's like I can't even imagine writing shit like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
at the same time, when I was rapping at that time, I didn't think that's how I was writing at the time either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was still just trying to figure it out. But I'm listening to it now, like, damn, bro, like I was better than I thought at that time. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like you was talking about, Joe, like you don't need that like triumph or the turmoil or whatever. It just kind of goes to the thing I was saying about the Michael Jackson thing. Like it all connects. Is like the Michael Jackson thing was like, nah, you just need to be present for it and let the music
Tap
lead.
into it.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Just zone into
You
that
know,
creativity zone.
one of the things that I always think about that, really kind of shifted the way I thought when it came to tapping into it or tapping into that feeling was I remember, I think, yeah, it was Howard Stern. 50 Cent did a interview with Howard Stern. And, they were kind of basically talking about him. This was back in like '09 or something like that, about him transitioning into acting. And, how does he make himself cry? You know what I mean? Just being 50 Cent, And one of the things that he basically said was that he trained himself to basically put himself back in specific situations, just that, from him growing up. Like, for example, one of the situations was, or it was basically him walking into his mother's house or his mother's place right after his grandmother died. And he was able to take himself back mentally to that exact moment and feeling and locking in to that basically bringing that out of himself for the role that he's playing. And I'm like, dang, bro, this is coming out of a rapper's mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like he transitioned into an actor and he trained himself to captivate those emotions. And, that's something that to me is like super dope, that I feel like it's not as easy to do as it is to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it's funny that you say that because there's this Tony Hawk game that if I listen to the song from the Tony Hawk game, I get like I can kind of like trance myself into that exact moment of me playing
Yeah.
that when I was that age in Wentworth, like the feeling that I had, like I can like literally like zone in on it when I hear that song and like you know what I mean? And it just I can kind of like you're saying, like you can kind of tap into it and just kind of like know what that feeling was. It's almost like a timestamp type thing. You know what I mean?
That song for me was Bombs Over Baghdad by
I was like back
Outkast.
there. Damn.
Yeah, I think it was like
say
Tony
that
Hawk Pro
because-
Skate 2 or something like that.
Bro, one of my
Hey.
first jobs, it's crazy you say that song. One of my first jobs, I used to ride my bike to it, and it was like dumb far. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like a quick ride; it was like an hour ride. And one of the songs that I used to listen to that would pump me up on a ride was "Bombs Over Baghdad." Like I had that in my headphones. I had these Sony headphones that I would always buy because they were like super cheap. You can catch them $15, $20, but they
They
were
were
like
yellow.
good quality. Nah, they were like behind the ear ones in gray,
Mm,
and they just were like super good quality. So I would always
mm,
buy those headphones whenever I needed headphones, right?
Yeah.
And like I just remember having them headphones plugged into my phone, listening to that song, and that being like the soundtrack, like getting me home and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it was
Yep.
dumb late at night. So it's like that's another one of them songs that when I hear it, I could feel like I'm riding a bike. It's dark as
mm-hmm.
fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm in like a back alley, like going towards like the area where I used to live at and stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's crazy you said that specific song.
I feel like that's like right now a big piece of like um just being a creator, at least for me, you know what I'm saying, is trying to get more repetitive with that. Because for example, like right before this pod, bro, I was telling y'all like, yo, man, I had a crazy
I
day.
wanted
I'm
to
about
bring
to
that
leave.
up. Yeah. I
Yeah,
wanted to
like I
bring
had a
that up.
crazy day. I'm about to leave town tomorrow. This engineer I've been working with, he sent me a free mix and master, but I basically been traveling and busy, and then Pro Tools was acting up. So it's been like 3 weeks. I'm trying to get it to him because I leave town tomorrow, and that's gonna be another week and a half too. I'm not trying to lose it, and I also don't want to do bad business. He's offering me a free mix and master. You know what I mean? So like basically right before this episode, like I took 20, 30 minutes to finally lock in on Pro Tools and record something that I wrote on the way to like 3-4 hours from here for work. You know, I had to travel for work. So I wrote it in the car while I was driving and laid it down real quick right before this pod. And it's like, you know, even in that moment, bro, like I feel like I had to like I'm telling you, man, my anxiety was through the roof, bro. You know what I'm saying? I took a couple hits. I sipped on my little, sip real quick and had to like lock in because I knew that I had the pod coming up, and it's like, that's like for me I'm sure there's probably some things I could tweak, but from the standpoint of like, yo, it's out. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Hmm.
I can listen to it. If there's something I got to tweak, I can tweak it. That was super dope. And it's like, I want to be able to do that more consistently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
That's
something.
what me. I was gonna say just a few days ago, you was wondering when you was gonna be able to tap into something again, and then
Mm-hmm.
boom, 3 days later, the opportunity was there, and you took it.
Facts.
Yeah, that's something me and Freddie was talking about the other day. Like, just detaching the content creation mind from the actual, like, creating the content. If it
Creativity.
makes
Yeah,
sense, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like,
I got you.
getting out of that, like being mindful of it, but getting out of the mindset of like how you're gonna use the content or what kind of content you need and stuff like that. Just making sure you're just making good stuff. You know what I mean? Because
Exactly.
that's something that happens a lot now. Like no matter how much you try to avoid it, you get sucked into the algorithmic aspect of making music, and it's just finding that balance. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't make it just to make it. Then you're gonna lose yourself. I feel.
Facts, and that's what was always holding me back with the rap and stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Which is it's not even like a thing that's like a big deal to me or anything, but even just like I was wondering why it even like is such a big deal to me in my head. You know what I mean? Like if I just even lay some stuff down just for me, like what would be the harm
Yeah.
in that? You know what I mean? Like
Send it in the chat.
exactly. So like now I'm just a little more open to it, and I'm just curious and kind of like I want to see where it would go. Because another curious thing about that song was I distinctly remember at that time I was literally about to like make a transition into like different kind of music. You know what I mean? Because I started feeling silly like rapping the same kind of topics and stuff that I had been rapping already since I was a teenager. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I
Mm-hmm.
just like had like a shift even in like the type of stuff I was saying. So like it's just funny that that's the last song I recorded, and it's like still it's literally like I just left it hanging there in time, and it's like I can just still come back to it, and it's just right there at that same, you know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
hole is still dug that far, these many years later.
Facts.
Yeah, that's all. Well, from the little clip that I heard, it sounded like something you could rap today.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about when you're like so locked in to something, because I like rapping for me is the thing that was like the most comfortable thing for me because it was the thing that I did the longest. Like at that point, I had already been rapping for like 12 years or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
when I laid that down. And rapping, I just gravitated so much easier to it. You know what I mean? So like whenever, and it's crazy because it's something I talked about with my homie the other day, that he's like, to me, like he's just an amazing rapper, bro. Like, and he don't rap no more, like for a long time. Like it's been mad years, you know what I mean? And he, a lot of the reasons that he has are not tied to the outside world's expectations, but some of it is to a certain point, because it's like, I'm gonna make this music, but then what I'm gonna do with it, you know what I mean? And my thing was kind of like, bro, like honestly, like you just got a gift, and just you documenting it, like just for the sake of like, bro, you're that nice. Like to me, that's a good enough reason. You know what I mean? Maybe for you, it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't care enough about the music. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously I'm big on music, so like the music is important to me, and especially if
Mm-hmm.
I know you got that kind of talent, like I want to hear
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? So
I just oh go ahead.
go ahead. No,
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 no.
no, go ahead. So basically, all I was gonna say, man, I feel like anybody that's talented with music, bruh, like you're doing yourself a disservice by not creating music, because like we're not here permanently, bruh, but like you know what I'm saying, the music lives on, the art lives on,
Facts.
the you know what I'm saying,
And
like
it's something to do,
Yeah.
bro.
And I think
There's different things to stimulate your mind as you get older. Even like
yeah.
this whole like narrative now, where like having a creative outlet is corny, bro. That shit is so whack to me, man. Like
Yeah.
facts.
and that's even part of like the algorithmic thing that I don't like. It's like you got to find a funny slash creative slash unique way to basically work around what you're actually doing to get people to come see it. You know what I mean? Like you got to wrap it in such a crazy elaborate bow, but just to still give them the same package. You know
Right.
what I mean? And that's like the part that gets frustrating. It's like, bro, how I present it to you, it doesn't matter. Like this is music. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's like that's that constant artist grind. You know what I mean? Like trying to figure
Yeah.
out how to make those two things merge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was gonna say I think that's why Pac has so many posthumous albums, because that dude just stayed recording. He just stayed recording so much music every single day,
Yep.
and they were able to do some. And that's why I think that's why I don't know, but I believe it that Wayne doesn't remember his lyrics because he's rapped so much.
Oh yeah, facts. Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
even when I found that one song I'm talking about, I sent y'all a few songs, and I even sent Quincy some the other day that I was like, bruh, like I didn't even know what, like I don't remember. I heard it, and I'm like, dog, this I know this is me because I recognize my voice. I
Mm-hmm.
know I wrote it because nobody ever wrote no shit for me. So like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even remember none of it. I'm like, dang, bro, like you really. And I obviously have not made nowhere near as much music as Lil Wayne, so I can only imagine him like, just how much stuff he don't even remember that he just laid down. You know?
Yep.
On the flip side of that, this man sent me some stuff that I sent him, like, yo, I think your voice would sound dope on this record, bro. And I heard it and I was like, damn, this shit was ass.
That was like 2013 or something. Right?
Yeah, bro. I heard, and the craziest part about it is that as soon as I heard the beat drop and then I heard myself rapping, I remembered like the process of like actually writing that, thinking it was like, this shit's dope. Like, nah, bro, that shit was ass, bro.
I gotta send y'all my tracks, man. Yeah, I can't. We gotta sign an NDA. You can't share them with nobody.
Bro, and that's exactly how I feel about all them tracks that I sent y'all, and then it was just that one, bro. It was just like stuck to me. You know what I mean? I'm just like, damn, bro,
Yeah,
this is a vibe right here. You know what I mean? Like it
definitely
just
sound like a
gave me
Nas
that
track
feeling.
back in the day that still hits today.
Exactly. It's that classic vibe, bro. Like there's just a certain way to create anything. Like anything you create, if you detach all trends and time from it, it just hits. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yep.
always gonna hit no matter what. That's why
hmm
people still, like we always say, people still sampling and using old music today, bro, because it hits. You can say whatever you want. Sometimes you gotta catch it at a different point in life, but it's
Yeah.
gonna hit. You know what I'm saying? I remember telling my daughter that the other day. I was playing some Steely Dan music, and she's like, she was like, I got a crazy blend of music on my phone. So like something played and then something else played and then the Steely Dan joint played, and she's like, "Dang, daddy, like it's crazy how you can have so much fire music, but then so much trash music at the same time. And I was laughing. I'm like, yo, it's funny because remember you told me that right now, and then when you get a little older, you're gonna be
You
listening to
fuck
the
with it.
song and be like, damn, bro, that song slides.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that's just how it is, man. Sometimes it just gotta hit you at a
It
different
hits
time.
later. And that's why when I make these mixes and like the people who just like old school music and they tell me straight up, like, bro, I don't know any of those songs. It was like, yo, just it's not about the songs, bro. Just play it the whole way through. It's not about the songs. But some people just want to hear what they want to hear, and anything new they don't even want to touch. They even want to give it a shot. But I get it. And it's crazy. Like I think on Facebook is the biggest, but probably because I don't have Twitter, but like everybody who's old school, well, who's just my age, hates any kind of new music. Any kind of new music. Like everything that's out there. That shit is
Yeah,
nuts.
that whole everything blanket, it just
Yeah.
it's just whack because it's like, bro, you know that this is not true. Like, there's no way. There's just not a good song that was made after 1996. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It might not be your style, it might not be your bag, but there's good music still being made.
Yeah, facts. Big
Sometimes it
facts.
takes a little longer to get to it because we don't got the same kind of time to like just vibe on music.
And
Yeah.
that's another thing too, is that like, I feel like the industry had so much more of a filter back then that like, yeah, they weren't always right, but when new music came out, people knew new music was coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now so many people can put music out however they may please
What you're
that,
saying is definitely right, and I 100% agree. But the flip side of that is also like some people don't understand like how cyclical life really is. Like, we had trash music. You know what I'm saying? There was a
Yeah.
period.
Big
There
time.
was a period where they were putting out trendy stuff, trying to see what hits. That it was trash. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of songs that you go back and listen to. There's plenty of shows that you go back and watch, and you're like, dang, this was trash. It just caught me at the right time. It goes back to the timing thing. You know what I mean? It's like people don't want to accept that stuff that happened for them that's special to them is whack too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? We all like stuff that's whack. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Our stuff
For
wasn't
sure.
better. There wasn't, there's definitely elements like Quincy said. The way the music was made was different. There was more of a filter, so you had to have more of a just natural, like, bruh, like you notice that person's a star right off rip because you didn't have that many opportunities. You know what I mean? You didn't have so many stabs at it. So the filter was definitely better. But at the same time, stuff was still trickling through that was trash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody that pretends like all the movies and everything, like anybody that acts like that about their era, period, no matter what the era was, it's like, bro,
Yeah.
you're just stuck in one mode and mentality, and we're just not gonna be able to get past that if that's what you want.
Yeah. That's like, bro, like with the Gunna track and with the Travis Scott, with the Gunna album, the Travis Scott album, um, a lot of new artist albums. If it wasn't for y'all talking about it and saying it was actually good, I probably would have never gave it a listen because everybody around me says, nah, everything is trash, trash, trash. And like
Same with Young Thug for me, bro. Like
Young Thug too, yeah.
when I was because like that period when Young Thug came, that was like when my period of rap was ending. So at that time, I definitely was one of those like, bro, I'm not listening to this. This is trash. You know what I mean? Until people that I knew new music told me like, nah, bro, you tripping. This dude is nice.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna check it out. Now I'm a big Young Thug fan. You know what I mean? Some people can't get past the antics, can't get past certain things, but dog, look at dudes from the 70s and 80s in hip hop, how they was looking, how they was dressing, the stuff they was doing.
Facts.
And for you to say anything about Young Thug, bro,
For
you
real,
can't.
dude.
If you can still say something about Young Thug and justify that, you really just stuck in that one cycle because ain't no way, bro.
Facts.
They used to have the classic rock and roll stars used to have long hair, makeup, bell bottoms, glitter blouses. Like
Bro, the
that was a
classic hip
style.
hop stars was doing that with
Oh
cowboy
yeah.
boots, little, leather vests. Like, bro.
Yep.
Anyway, to bring it all together to some new school hip hop, I copped that 21 Savage skin bundle off of Call of Duty.
Yeah,
The
boy.
Blueprint Guns is hitting. the
Yo,
little,
does he
the little
have
vocal
audio?
prompts. Yeah, bro, everything. He does
What does
has
he
audio
do?
for everything, bro. It's dope, bro. It's dope.
Oh, I need to hear them all.
Yeah, they're all dope, dog. But yeah, man, that I'm waiting for that new resurgence map too. I'm excited about this new one, man. I'm about to hop on this right now. Matter of fact, you heard me after I eat dinner, cuz.
Yep,
Let's get
yeah.
it.
But yeah, man, y'all got any last words?
She man, what I got going on, dog? I got motherfucking PMPY dropping on September what 1st? No, I lied. September. Oh snap! Damn.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm bugging. Yeah, that bitch dropped tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna
Lord,
say that.
see this how fast life going, y'all,
Yeah.
bugs.
Going fast. Hey, man, the salon opening
Yes,
September
sir.
18th. You heard me?
Ooh, it's coming. I got 2 months left in Vegas. Then I'm back to being an Orlando boy. Big
That
things
boy.
going on.
Damn, man, that came quick, boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
facts. Bro, in a couple months, things gonna be real different than they was 6 months ago.
big
Facts.
time.
The crazy part
Facts.
is all of it is still gonna be butter.